Hello YouTube. Make sure I press the start streaming this time, not start. No, I made sure I pressed start recording, not start streaming, because I was streaming last time, which means I'm going to have to check to see where that is. Hopefully I didn't send it to the wrong place. I'll sort that out later. But anyway, as per usual, as I was saying previously in the stream that you won't know about, today, as always, I want to take out just one thing from Bunny's video, which you'll find linked down below, and that's her. She talked about belief, but what I think she actually meant is self-worth, because people who are anxious often have problems with self-worth, can often feel like they don't deserve any help, but more importantly feel anxious because of things around them. They're worried that they're going to be judged, they're worried they're going to do something wrong. As an example of that, the way agoraphobia manifests for me sometimes is when I'm outside, say I'm at a bus stop, for example, and I'm looking for the bus. Either I'm looking to the right to see if it's coming, or I'm looking to the left to see if there's one going that way, so I have a rough idea of how soon one will be coming back. And there'll be somebody stood next to me, and I'll worry that, for no reason, because I'm agoraphobic, I'll worry that they'll think I'm looking at them. I mean, of course they're not going to think that, because I'm at a bus stop. But it's a phobia. It's not built on rationality, and that's a self-worth issue, believe it or not. Or at least it is for a lot of people. They don't think they're worthy of attention, or that they're going to do something wrong. Everything they do is somehow wrong, and that can be a real fucker to overcome. And I don't know how to. If I did, I wouldn't have this problem anymore now, would I? But she mentioned, I can't remember exactly what she said, but something about in the past. And a lot of that does tend to come from your upbringing. Parents, unfortunately, have a massive influence over your life, no matter how hard you try to avoid it, for better and for worse. They often make things worse by trying to do it better. There's a line in Constantine. That's Constantine, not Constantine. It's an I. T-I-N-E, Constantine. Oh, Hellblazer, the film with Keanu Reeves, where he's talking about when he started having visions, and he said that my parents did what any good parents would do. They made it worse. And yeah, parents often do make it worse. Often because they don't understand, and sometimes because they can't understand. It might be something along the lines of saying, "Oh, you'll get over it," you book your ideas up and straighten yourself out. Or one I got a lot was people saying that they were constantly walking on eggshells around me, and I didn't know what I was doing. Nobody ever fucking told me what I was doing wrong. Just everything I did was wrong, so I started having to second guess everything, which made things worse because I was constantly high strung. I was feeling in a constant state of anxiety, so it was very, very easy for me to get frustrated, and obviously that frustration came out, which fed back into itself. At no point did anybody ever think to stop and ask me what was actually going on. They spoke at me, not to me. They wouldn't engage in a dialogue with me. My father was the worst for that. He once said to me, "I'll always be wiser than you because I'll always be older than you." Yeah, that's not how it works, mate. That's why you died, poor dickhead. So what do we do about that? That's the hard part, because it's very easy to say. Rationally, in my head, I know that people aren't going to. But then again, there have been instances in the past when I've been minding my own business and somebody's thought it'd be funny to just be a dick. And when I was about 11 or 12, maybe a little bit older, I was with a friend. We were just sat at the end of this little walkway thing. It was probably about 30 feet long in a housing area that went between the houses. And we were at one end. These kids were walking past and they went, "What are you looking at? What are you looking at?" And I was like, "For fuck's sake, just leave me alone." I get that. Not a lot, but often enough that I worry about things like that, or used to worry about things like that happening. These days, it doesn't bother me so much, but that inkling in the back of my head that somebody's going to do something like that, I'm constantly bracing for it. And that's exhausting. It really is, and it doesn't help that I have the long hair and have the big beard and I'm tall and I have glasses and a bit fat these days. You know, people like to make themselves feel better by poking holes at somebody who doesn't look normal, somebody who doesn't look right. There was a time I was walking through the city centre with my wife, and because she's so short, she's like down here, I heard somebody say, "Oh no, it's his daughter." Fuck off, dickhead. I don't understand why people feel the need to do that. I get the neurological processes behind it, but I just, you know, I feel more for them than for myself, because those people have a very low self-worth. They feel the need to pick holes in somebody else because they're not satisfied with their own life. I'm pretty good with my life now. I have a nice home. I have food in my cupboards. I have food in my belly. I have a beautiful wife. We have a kid on the way. I have the mugs. I have a little girl already who's amazing. But that doesn't make the anxiety go away. If anything, that can add to it, because that means I have things to lose. And that's not a good position to be in either. So this is going to be another one of those where I really don't know how to solve it. I really don't know what else to say. It's just, that's an important issue, and it's one that I don't think enough people focus on. Individuals who are suffering from anxiety, and also professionals, they don't seem to to understand just how important that is. We teach people coping mechanisms, coping methods, rather than trying to get back to the core of what caused it, rather than treating the underlying condition. We treat the symptoms, and that needs to change. That's not something I can do. That's something that's a culture shift that needs to happen. An example I like to give is, it's like giving somebody paracetamol to treat a brain tumour because it causes pain. Paracetamol makes the pain go away. You're not going to get any better from that. The tumour needs to be excised. The tumour needs to be dealt with. And in my case, our case, the tumour is anxiety, and people are teaching us how to deal with that rather than how to remove it. That needs to change. That's something that really has to be. People need to come at it from a different perspective, and I know CBT is very effective for a lot of people because it does treat them to deal with these things. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that. I want to stress that fact. This isn't a zero-sum game. It's not an either-or. We can do both, but they need to do more than just teach you how to deal with the problem, but they need to address the problem. That is something you can do yourself to an extent. You can start to understand what the problem is. Another thing Bonnie said is that she talks to her anxiety. She tries to have conversations with it, quite literally, in fact. It's not just a metaphorical thing, and maybe that's something that other people could do. Think back. Start trying to piece together things that have happened. Don't shy away from them. Don't try and hide them. Address them. Realize what they are. Understand what they are, because that will help you get better, because you'll be able to tell them, whoever it is, your doctor, your therapist, your mum, your dog, whatever, you'll be able to tell them what the problem is, and they might just be able to help, because maybe it comes from your mum and dad, maybe it comes from your brother, maybe it was teachers at school, maybe it was the friends you had. Sometimes just going and telling them, don't get angry at it, that's not going to help anything. Have a chat with them. Try and tell them the problem it is, and you never know. Being able to explain it to them, and then being able to understand, and them just apologising for what they did, even though they didn't mean to, that can help a lot, because it gives you a sense of control back. It lets you know that you are valued, and that can help. And that goes back to what I was saying about self-worth. Sometimes the best way to do that is to go back to the beginning. Rather than trying to address where you're at now, address where it started, and that will have a knock-on effect to where you are now. But those are just my 10 cents. If anybody has anything else they think they want to add, any methods they found to deal with it, fire away. I just hope I can help somebody. So until next time, thank you for watching.